Okay, well, we were right at 100. Looks like someone got kicked off, but for the sake of time and efficiency, we'll go ahead and kick off tonight. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. And welcome to the first Recharging Your Career for a New School Year Town Hall. Thank you for joining us to learn more about how your ACTE member benefits work for you. I am Cheney Mosley, ACTE President, and it is a pleasure to celebrate our professional member benefits with you. To kick things off, you should see a poll on the screen. We want to know who is here. So take a few seconds to respond, if you will. We'll close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's take a look at the results. We see that 96% of those joining us tonight are currently ACTE members, but that leaves 4% who are not, and we hope that by the end of this meeting that you will have decided to join us. So thanks for being here tonight. Friends, there is no better way to build your career and to ensure the nation's focus on the important work that you do in your schools than to be a member of ACTE. Members benefit in many ways, from our advocacy and awareness work to other resources like our Techniques magazine, member insurance programs, professional development and networking opportunities designed to support you, and much more. So today or tonight, we will discuss how ACTE can help you build your CTE community, stay informed on policy and research impacting career and technical education, use your voice to advocate for our profession, enhance your professional knowledge and skills, and protect yourself from unexpected events. Before I introduce additional board members on our meeting today, I want to let everyone know that there will be a question and answer session as well as a survey at the end of this presentation. You will be able to post questions in the Q&A at any time during this CareerTech Town Hall. If you're not familiar with the Q&A, if you look at the bottom of the Zoom screen and hover your mouse, you should see an option for Q&A. And if it doesn't show up, maybe there are 3 small dots or an ellipses. If you click that, you might see Q&A posted there. Click that, and that is how you can share a question that you would like to be asked later on in this session. At the end, we will answer as many of the questions as possible. And then, following this meeting, you will receive a link to a survey. Anyone who posts a question in the Q&A or anyone who completes the survey will be entered in a drawing to win one of 5 prizes, and you see those on the screen. These include an ACTE laptop backpack, an ACTE gift basket, Designing CTE curriculum book from ShopACTE, a CareerTech VISION 2023 registration. This is our national conference, and lunch during VISION with one of the ACTE officers. Finally, after we wrap up this town hall, we will send an email with links to many of the topics we discuss so that you can follow up on your own time if you would like to learn more. I'm joined tonight by fellow ACTE board members who will be sharing valuable information about the benefits of membership on the state and national levels. Additionally, we have ACTE staff who are joining us tonight, and we will hear from them as well. And it is a pleasure for me at this time to introduce Eric Ripley, Vice President of the Administration Division, to share how you can build your community. Eric?
Thanks, Cheney. I'm getting a kick out of all the reactions that are flying up on the screen about the door prizes ahead of us. So really appreciate the opportunity to be with this group tonight and speak a little bit about building your community through your participation and involvement within ACTE. ACTE very smartly, I think, is structured with the divisions that you see on the screen to help represent really the breadth and the diversity that we have within our CTE program areas. We're very excited to have a new division this past year, work-based learning, And if you don't see your specific career field represented on this screen, just know our new related services is kind of that catch-all division that encompasses things like support staff, or our newest one, law and safety. We also have an emerging esports representation within ACTE. So again, this is representative, we feel, of all of our CTE colleagues and professionals across the nation. And at the same time, ACTE is that umbrella organization that helps represent our common interest of strengthening and expanding CTE programs for yourselves, your students, and the communities that you serve. I come from a small state. I work in rural North Dakota, and my personal and professional involvement with ACTE, I feel, has allowed me to grow my own personal community and have access and network to so many respected and great individuals across the nation. When I look at the screen and the participants, it's really just a network of friends that I know I could reach out to and gain valuable insights on best practices and interests from their perspective on how to strengthen programs, both for myself and for those teachers that I work with. I think about your involvement within this organization. The best way to do it is to become involved, either at the committee level, state, regional, or national level, and know that your national ACT organization works extremely closely with state associations that represent you at that state level. It's really been a privilege for me to be involved with ACT my entire professional career, and again, to be part of this webinar tonight. I'm really pleased to now be able to introduce Holly, who is our Vice President for the Health Science Education Division, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about being informed as an ACTE member. Holly? I think you're on mute, Holly.
It was a really good introduction too. So thanks, Eric. Thanks, everyone. As stated, I'm Holly Strand-Risgaard. I am the president of the Health Science Education Division, and so happy that so many of you could join us. Tonight, I'm going to highlight a vital aspect of our professional journey of being informed. In the dynamic world of career and technical education, staying up to date is an imperative that propels us towards excellence. ACTE has curated a wealth of resources that are tailored precisely to empower you on this journey of knowledge. From the printed page to the digital world, our offerings are designed to keep you at the forefront of any CTE advancements. Our Techniques magazine stands as a beacon and is available in both print and digital formats. It delves into CTE issues, innovations, and inspiring success stories. It's not just about reading, it's about gaining insight that really helps elevate your teaching methods. But that's not all. We have ACTE News that offers comprehensive articles, while CareerTech updates provide quick snapshots of the latest happenings. You can also dive into the world of STEM education with our STEM Smart Brief and stay attuned to workforce trends with CTE2 Workforce Smart Briefs. Also, advocacy matters, and that's where our legislative alerts come in, ensuring that you are informed about any policy changes that are going on. One of my favorites, personally, as a division president, is to send out newsletters that are tailored to our division, creating a platform for connection and shared insight. And remember, ultimately, the hub of all of ACTE is our website, www.acteonline.org. Their knowledge awaits that is easily accessible and waiting your exploration. Being informed is not just about professional growth, it's about enhancing the educational journey for our students. The more we know, the better equipped we are to guide them towards success. I encourage you to embrace all of these resources that you see up on your screen. Let's empower our classrooms, advocate for our profession, and drive the future of CTE education together. I will turn it over to Carrie, who is our president-elect, and she is going to share with you how to amplify your voice.
Thanks, Holly. Great to have everyone on this evening. I'm ACTE President-elect Carrie Scheider. So excited to be on with you this evening And as part of ACTE, we hope you amplify your voice with a lot of the resources that we have to share. The first item I want to share with you this evening is our CTE advocacy resources, tips, and tools. There are extensive resources on our ACTE website, and those are continually being added, so always check back for new resources. Most recently, we have added our toolkits for CTE teacher recruitment and career development and middle school through post-secondary. So we encourage you to check those out and use those as you recruit CTE teachers in your states. We also have our CTE fact sheets, infographics, and research. This is obviously one of my favorite resources. It's great to use as we work with our business advisory councils and our folks within our states. You can use these as also with parents. We're appreciative to have a better understanding of the opportunities for their children. So please consider using those fact sheets, infographics within your districts. We also offer a CTE policy watch blog, which is great because you always know what's happening in the legislative world. So we encourage you to check that out. And a lot of those are pushed out through email through your ACTE membership. We also have our legislative alerts. This is one of the biggest things that I've learned through ACTE is how important it is to talk with your legislators and lobby and meet with legislators. So we encourage you to always check into the legislative alerts. Also, meeting with legislators through things like our national policy seminar is so important as well. We also have our state associations that organize advocacy opportunities and connect with legislators. So we encourage you to work closely with them and with our affiliate organizations. These are really a true community of professionals that we work with through ACTE, and we encourage you to do so as well. So it's my honor to serve you as your president-elect. It's also my honor to introduce our past president, Scott Stone. Scott, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Carrie. Carrie mentioned one of her conferences that you can attend is the National Policy Seminar. And I will never forget my first time at the National Policy Seminar. I was a bit overwhelmed. I'm just a small ag teacher from the state of Missouri, and I'm now in the nation's capital with hundreds of other CTE professionals making an impact at the federal level on things that impact us each and every day. But that's one of the really cool things about ACTE and the opportunities that it provides, because as a member, you get member pricing on ACT events. One of those, as I said, was MPS, as well as the Best Practices Seminar. And one of my personal favorites is CareerTech VISION. Now, this year, we're going to a new city in Phoenix, Arizona, and we are super excited to be there. This is one of the most comprehensive career and technical education conferences in the world. Last year, we had over 6,000 attendees. Now, I know there's about 150 of you participating tonight, so we want to see who's going to Phoenix, Arizona, and joining us for Vision 2023. So there's a poll on your screen if you would like to go ahead and answer that for us. All right, I'll give you about 5 more seconds. If we want to go ahead and close that poll. All right, it looks like about 45% of you are going to join us in Phoenix, and we are excited about that. Now, 20% said not sure. Hopefully after tonight, you will see the true benefit of going to Phoenix, and we want you to be there. Now, 35% I wish I could. One of the really neat things is with Vision, I mean, COVID kind of was junky for all of us, but one of the things that came out of COVID is we offer some virtual options. So those of you who aren't able to join us in Phoenix, you can join that virtual option of Vision and get some of the great programming that we're going to see there. All right, thank you. Next, Another thing that allows us to grow as CTE professionals is the quality of education provided on the state level. Every summer, I look forward to joining the Missouri vocational ag teachers, as well as the business teachers and family consumer science teachers at our conference held in Springfield, Missouri. I love going and learning from my peers and learning what they have to offer. So your state, even if you can't make it to the national level, has some fantastic programming that can help you expand your CTE knowledge. Another tool that we have that helps us all is our high quality CTE frameworks, which the vast majority of states use. And this allows us to develop and find out our weaknesses and improve on those to develop CTE programs that are high quality, that are meeting the needs of our students, as well as the workforce that we're preparing our students to join. Another area where you can learn is our extensive online learning via the CTE Learn platform. There are hundreds of online courses that you can take as a member and a non-member. Several of those are free. As mentioned earlier, we're focusing on recruiting new teachers. One of the classes in there is classroom management. So if I'm coming out of industry and I'm joining the classroom and I'm like, how do I control a bunch of 14-year-olds in my classroom? It's great to jump on there, take that course, and it will give you some strategies to help you. We also have a lot of webinars to help members connect with peers in the profession so that we can share best practices. The Counseling and Career Development Division has a recess, which is a webinar that they host that their division members join, and they can discuss best practices, they can ask questions and learn from each other. So we would encourage you to join those webinars. And then, as mentioned earlier, we have a ShopACTE store. This is kind of like the Amazon for career and technical education. We have hundreds of resources available to you. It's your one-stop shop. Now, many of you have heard about Perkins and its impact on our programs. If you go to the CTE store, the ACTE store, you can get every Perkins guide that you want, and that's where the newest and most updated information can be found. So I encourage you to visit that. And also, if you attend Vision and you hear a great speaker, a lot of their books that they have written are also on that website. So we would encourage you to go visit and check out what's on that ACTE store. Finally, the leadership development programs that ACTE offers allows us each to grow and develop as a CTE professional. There's the CTE fellows, the post-secondary fellows. You can serve on committees for your region and division, whether it's the nominating committee, the awards committee, your policy committees. You can also serve on region and division and take on leadership roles, such as chairman of those committees. And last but not least, I know that there are some future National ACTE Board of Director members who are on this webinar tonight. And we look forward to seeing your name come forward because you have the expertise and the leadership skills we need to further our organization. Now, I have the opportunity to turn this microphone over to our fabulous Director of Membership Services, Ms. Kelly Deemer.
Oh, thank you, Scott, so much. Yes, I'm Kelly Deemer, Director of Membership for ACTE, and it's my honor to be able to present tonight with a fabulous board of directors for ACTE. So thank you all for participating tonight, and thank you, audience. Great to have such a big group tonight. Tonight, I get to speak on our member insurance program, and while it's not very exciting, it is very, very important, and we truly want to make sure that you understand the great benefits that come along with your membership that include insurance. First off, ACT provides you with a $25,000 policy for Common Core accidental death and dismemberment insurance within the first year of membership, and that is through our Forrest T. Jones Insurance Company. And that policy increases by $5,000 annually with continuous renewal of membership up to a maximum of $50,000. And that's the one that's highlighted in blue there. So very important membership benefit that comes right along with it. In addition, there's also a new member benefit of $60,000 of life insurance at no cost for 1 full year of members who meet eligibility requirements. Now, this is for the first year only, but it is a fabulous exclusive benefit again for our new members. In addition, you have access to a variety of other types of insurances, including your professional liability and other insurance options that are shown on the screen. Buying insurance to a group may be more valuable than buying an individual policy, because through your association, you're included in a large insurance purchasing group. So prices are very, very competitive in that way. So please check out, we've got more information about insurances on our website. And of course, for that percentage that are not a member of ACTE, please check out the exclusive new member benefit, $60,000 of life insurance. I'm now have the privilege of turning it back over to our president, Cheney Mosley, for some more information.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you to all of our speakers at this town hall. All of us who are presenting on this town hall have been looking back and forth at the Q&A, and either we have some really curious attendees at this town hall meeting, or we have some really motivated attendees who want to get one of those door prizes, and so it's exciting. I also want to thank everyone who did join us for this event, because your commitment to career and technical education is imperative to the continued success in our field. If you are not an ACTE member, we'd love to have you. And if you are, we're so glad to have you. When it comes to membership value, you get out of your professional membership what you put into it. So we encourage you to consider volunteering to serve on a committee in your state or your region, attend a conference, participate in a webinar like tonight, apply for one of our leadership programs, or take advantage of any of ACTE's opportunities. It's time to take action. So we hope that you'll visit our website to learn more about these topics, and be sure to respond to the survey that will come after we close the event. And post a question in the Q&A section of this meeting if you haven't done so yet, so that we can give you the information you want. Now, before we get into the question and answer session, which I know many of you are excited about, one final note about the prizes. For those who do submit a question or do provide a response to our survey, you will be entered to win. And selected attendees, those whose names are drawn, will be notified by email tomorrow of your selection for one of the prizes. And who knows, maybe I'll get to have lunch with you during ACTE Vision. So now, to assist us with the question and answer session is ACTE's own Michael Connett, the Association Deputy Executive Director. Michael?
Hi, Cheney, and hello, everyone this evening. It's so great to see such a great turnout. And boy, are you flooding us with questions. Everyone wants in, as Cheney said, to this great drawing. Well, let's get started. I'd like to throw out this first question to Scott Stone. From Marty Shirley, he asked, how can we better use the ACT resources to help us promote classes and grow our programs? I'm not sure which subgroup to join when I renew my membership, or how to best get connected for support. Scott?
Thank you, Michael. That's a great question, kind of two questions, and we'll answer both parts. The first part is, how can you use ACT resources to promote and grow your programs? As Holly mentioned, there are some fact sheets that we have out there. I know every year I want to develop promotional materials for my program, and it takes me a lot of time because I'm not that creative person. But we have a lot of infographics and information that's already done for you that you can pull down and use. You can use it with your Board of Education, your local school boards, your local administrators, as well as with your professionals at the state level, if you need to go to the state level and talk to them. So we've got a lot of those infographics and resources there. Also, you can use some of the data that's up there to encourage your students to join and become members and to grow your programs. The second part of your question kind of focused on, you're not sure which area to join. I would encourage you to kind of take a look at those. Eric had a slide up there that had all of our divisions on. Take a look at those and see kind of which one you fit with. There's descriptions on our ACT website. Now, the difference and confusion that happens a lot is some states have different divisions than we do on the national level. So select the one on your state level where you best fit, and then kind of look through those areas on the national level and see, okay, where do I funnel to? Or talk to other professionals in your state and ask them, hey, which ones do you belong to? One of the really cool things is you pick your main division, and then for another $10, you can join other divisions as well. So you might select a second division that fits in and you want to get information from them as well. So I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, let us know and we'll gladly try to rework that answer for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott. Well, let's go over Lenora Hogan had asked the question, how can we submit articles to the ACTE newsletter and or to Techniques magazine? Carrie, would you mind addressing that for us, please?
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Great opportunities for our members to submit all of their best practices from their states. We do have a link on our website for the Techniques magazine. I actually was just on there, Googled it. You can submit an article on our website that if you're interested. And we also have, like you mentioned, we have opportunities in our newsletters that come out through our regions and divisions. So we encourage you to connect with your region VP or your division VP to submit those as well. But great opportunities to share what you're doing in your states, and we hope that you do so. Thanks, Michael, and thanks for the question.
You bet. No, I'm really excited because there's some great questions that are coming in, and please go ahead and put your questions in. If we don't have time to get to it this evening, you're going to be entered in the drawing, and we'll follow up with all of you so that we do get answers out for all of the questions you're putting in. Eric, we have a couple questions from our attendees. That they're relatively new to career and technical education and to ACTE, and they're just curious of all the conferences, all the events the ACTE sponsors. What do you recommend that they attend as their first one out the gate? Is there any advice you can give them to help them be more effective in choosing where they go and what they get?
Sure, that's a great question. First off, welcome, to the ACTE family. It's great to have new members and returning members. I've been fortunate. I've been in CT for a long time to attend really the gamut of conferences that are provided. They're all good, right? They're all worthy and valuable with great takeaways to bring back. I'll run through three from an administrative perspective because I work in that capacity and VP of the administrative division. In the fall, we have a conference that we host called the Best Practices Innovations Conference. That's coming up here at the end of September. That conference is specifically geared towards a CTE administrator. So the content, the speakers, the breakout sessions, and the attendees are CTE administrative in nature or directors of some sort at the secondary, post-secondary level. In the spring, there's the National Policy Seminar, and Scott referenced that, really a conference to help understand the federal advocacy and legislation behind CTE and what happens at that level. It's so informative. That's just an outstanding conference to attend and to learn from. And then right sandwiched in the middle, coming up here in Phoenix, it was referenced, is the National Vision Conference. And that really might be the place to start for a new administrator. It really will represent all the things underneath the ACTE umbrella. It is a very impressive event with all the colleagues across the nation that are there. A lot of takeaways, but again, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Eric, thank you very much. They're all good, right? But I think my piece of advice would be take a look at the program or the schedule of the agenda, just to give you a sense of what the content each one of those will be. And those are all posted on our website or at the CareerTech VISION website. All right, let's take a quick question about our, where to go here? Oh, here we go. Adriana Cox would like to know, can you tell me more where I can talk with other ACTE members, most specifically work-based learning coordinators? And Holly, could you take that one?
Sure. Thanks for the question. First of all, I think with any of the divisions, not just work-based learning, really connecting with your division president, they can help guide you and help hook you up with the people in your area. getting involved with your division is also really important. And then, like it's been mentioned, attending these conferences, you will find, hundreds of new best friends by attending these conferences. In fact, I went to the Work-Based Learning Conference specifically last year. It was in Atlanta. It was an excellent conference. So if you really want to talk work-based learning, I would highly recommend attending that conference. This year, it is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, May 1st through the 3rd. So I highly recommend attending that and then reaching out to Jan in that division. So thank you for the question.
Thanks, Holly. Appreciate that. Kelly, we've had a number of questions come in about insurance programs, age limits on ACTE's life insurance benefit, the educator dental plan, is insurance automated in the first year, all sorts of questions. Where can attendees and our members get more information about all those insurance programs?
Absolutely. Thank you. And yes, as I said, insurance is pretty important these days. So I'm happy to direct all of you. Forrest T. Jones is our insurance provider that takes care of all these different kinds of insurance products, and they have a great service, customer service that can answer all of your questions. So on our membership benefits page, you will find a link to their flyer. I can also put it in the can I put it in I can't put it in the chat, right? Where can I put the link?
Well, why don't we email out to all the attendees a follow-up note and direct them to that? That'd be great.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Good suggestion. Thank you for your insurance questions. I knew it'd be a hot topic.
Well, of course, everyone wants to know how we're protected. All right, Cheney, if you don't mind, we had one of our first questions from Jeremiah Pauley, thanked us for hosting the webinar, and he wanted to understand what the difference between the ACTE National Leadership Fellowship Program and the Next Level Post-Secondary CTE Fellowship Program. Love to get some thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure. Happy to talk about both. But briefly, I want to call out, there have been quite a few questions about the Leadership Fellowship Program. I see we have a fellow alum, Martin Hanley, has joined us tonight. And Martin says that it was a great opportunity and would love for others to hear about it. So this is a fantastic question. So first, I'll talk about the Leadership Fellowship Program. It's a premier leadership development program, and it is open to two different tiers or two different cohorts. We have an experienced members cohort. That would be those who have 5 or more years of career and technical education experience. And we have a new professional members, and that would be members who have between 2 and 5 years of career and technical education experience. This program is really focused on the it's a leadership development program focused for CTE educators and ACTE members, and assist in developing their leadership skills within the career and tech ed space. It provides an opportunity to become familiar with and participate in processes that are used by policymakers as they develop and implement laws and regulations. And it helps us as an association identify and train and motivate a cadre of leaders who will or are interested in continuing into leadership positions with ACTE. Now, when we think about I'm going to slaughter this because it's such a long name. When we think about the Next Level Post-Secondary CTE Fellowship Program, that one's a little bit different. That one is geared I think the primary objective or the target audience for that leadership development program are those working in the higher education space. So that would be post-technical colleges, 2-year, as well as 4-year colleges, and it focuses on developing leadership in the career and tech ed space in post-secondary education institutions. And so I hope that's a little bit helpful distinguishing between those two leadership opportunities.
Clear to me. Thank you, Cheney. I appreciate that. Scott, we had someone ask us the question about, let me see if I can find the name here. I'm sorry, I can't pull up the name, but have we ever thought about having a division for persons who do the operational side of things, such as facilities, maintenance, and maybe other support staff?
Actually, that is a great question. We recently launched a new section. It's our support staff section. And the idea was born out of Oklahoma. So as I said, we're a grassroots organization, and what you do on the state level impacts us on a national level. So we have this support staff section now that is out there that you can join. And we have some workshops that are specifically designed for those individuals. And if you come to Vision, we'll have sessions that are just for you. So we would love to see all of you join that support staff section and grow that section so that we can provide the resources that you need on the national level, but also assist you on the state level.
Thank you, Scott. Cheney, we did have a follow-up question, if I could just come back to you. And that was from someone wanting to know if they applied for one of the fellowship programs that closed for the applications back on September 1st. How will they hear if they're accepted or not into the program?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I hear that you read that you applied last year and you never heard back. If you can, let's see here. I wonder. Tell you what, I'm going to ask maybe tell you what, I'm going to provide an email address in to your question. And if you can shoot an email to that individual, as board of directors members, we don't actually handle or have our hands in the process of notifying applicants, but I'm going to put you in touch with the person who can answer that question. Also, Michael, since you called on me, I want to alert you to the time. Looks like we have probably an opportunity for maybe one more question before we wrap up tonight.
That's great. I was actually just going to go there, Cheney. Thank you. So Carrie, why don't you bring us home? If you'll field this question for us, where can our attendees learn more about the esports alignment to CTE pathways and sectors?
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Michael. We do have a section on our website, on our ACTE website, that outlines the esports area of interest. So we would encourage you to visit that section. Under the engineering and technology education division /esports, you'll be able to learn all about that. And we're excited to have that as part of ACTE as that field grows. So thanks for the question.
Fantastic. Well, Cheney, we've got a bunch more questions. I just want to assure everyone who took the time not only to come tonight, but to share their questions, that we're going to get back to you with answers on all these questions. So I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks for that, Michael. And I'm working on getting a response to the participant who was asking about who to contact. Friends, it has been a fun night. I think we are all excited and impressed. At one point, I saw our attendance jump over 150. There have been questions about access to this. We have recorded this town hall meeting, and so this will be accessible and available. As a reminder, if you didn't have a chance to ask a question in the Q&A tonight, then you will have a chance to provide a response to the survey, and hopefully that will be helpful to you. And that will also get you entered in a drawing for a door prize, or a prize, one of those 5 prizes. As a reminder, the winners of those will be notified tomorrow, and you should be checking your email. I would be refreshing every 30 minutes if it were me. So thanks for joining us tonight. For those who said they weren't a member yet, hopefully tonight you realize that there are many benefits to becoming an ACTE member. And friends, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us who are presenting tonight. We're happy to answer your questions, and we look forward to meeting with you all as we travel across the country at various regional conferences and specific content conferences and ACTE Vision later on this year. Thanks for joining you, and have a good evening. Thanks for joining us, and have a